Hello, this video is about hypothesis testing. In the previous video, we saw what is hypothesis testing and what is z-test. In this video, we are going to be talking about t-test and the different types of t-test, and also we are going to be working on the Python code sample or examples as well, practical use cases. So t-test is something that's similar to a z-test, where you're comparing sample mean to the known population mean or assumed population mean or given mean. So there are this is a t-test is used when the sample size is less than 30, the population mean is unknown, and also the variance is unknown. So it is given by this particular formula to get the t statistic, and again p-value is calculated, and if the p-value is less than the significance value or the alpha value which is set, and we are going to reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternate hypothesis. If the alpha value is greater than 0.05, we are going to accept null hypothesis, stating that there is not much significant statistical difference. So let's get into it. So in t-test, there are again three types: of one sample t-test, two sample t-test, and paid sample t-test. And one sample t-test, we compare a sample and its mean to a known mean or an assumed mean. In two sample t-test, we compare means of two independent samples. And in a paired sample t-test, we compare means of the same data set but a different time or after or a different condition, two different conditions basically. So let's get into the one sample t-test. Just type it here. So we're going to compare a sample size of a weight which is in pounds of humans, of where the sample size is around 20, which is less than 30. So we are going to be using SciPy, which is a statistics library. So we have imported the one sample uh, t-test. Now let's get into weights of individuals. Let's go with, going to keep on average about 140 and the highest around 175 or 180, and about 20 sample size. And let's assumed or given mean weight is around 150. We are considering, that's what we're considering. And let's perform the t-test. So the two parameters that needs to be passed are the sample itself and the given or assumed mean. So you can see that we get three different values. So this is the t statistic value, followed by the p value and the degree of freedom. Let me try to change it a bit. Let's see how this works. I think I'll still reduce it further and see. No, actually, let's try to increase it here. So, yeah, I think we got the p-value much less, so there's a significance difference. So anyway, we have t statistic here, we have p-value and degree of freedom. So basically we have t statistic, which is 8.29, and by the way, this is a two sample test. Or let's do one thing, let's try to change it here. Yeah, I think this is much better, but let's try to get it a bit closer. 0.05. Let's go with 180 in that case. 0.8. Okay, so we have the I'm just trying to make it easier for us to understand. So we have 20 samples, 140 being the minimum, 180 being the highest. And when we look here, we are going to get, this is our sample of 20 points. And after we run through this, we are going to get this particular value. So statistic is 2.91 and a p-value is 0.008, which means accept we'll be rejecting the null hypothesis since we have a significant difference. So let's assign the variables here. Test comma p-value equals. And also one more thing, if you notice here, we also have degree of freedom, which means a sample size minus 1, just in to use it to calculate the p-value. So okay, let's get into the t table here. So if we come here, we'll see that the degree of freedom is given on the left hand side here, and you have to know that in this case, since the sample size is 20, we're getting 19, and 2.919, that's the value we need to search under this row, under the degrees are 19. So what was the value? 2.91. So 2.919, okay, 2.919 is going to come somewhere between 0.01 to 0.002. You can see on the top. So that's basically our p-value, and even if we come here, we are getting a value that's somewhere closer. So basically this is accurately calculated, whereas this table is quite the nearest. So on the degree of freedom 19, you go towards 2.91. It's between 2.8161 to 3.579, so it's somewhere between here, and we are getting between 0.01 to 0.002. So this is our p-value. And yeah, we have to reject the null hypothesis since it's much smaller than the significant value or the alpha value. So in this case, we can conclude that our sample, the mean of this sample is significantly different from the given mean or the known mean. So yeah, that's basically pretty much about this particular video. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.